So I guess kind of on the heels of that, sometimes people can be a little insensitive, not meaning to people who are grieving. Um, you know, phrases like "well, at least," or you know, um, things like that. People say stuff that sometimes is less than helpful.
Mhm.
um, did you guys have any experiences with that? If so, share an example.
Do you know what's interesting is, like I said, being the parent of children who are going through this and never having gone through this myself, um, I feel that I probably have said things that are more, that I don't think I've had someone say something to me where I've been like, oh, but I know that I've said things to my son and his wife and thought that that was not, you know. I mean, I just when they celebrated her third birthday, um, they did a really nice celebration at the cemetery, and they had balloons, and they invited the family, and they, got donuts that spelled her name, and we weren't there, so they called and told us all about it, and I just remember saying, I'm so glad you got to that her birthday was exactly like how you wanted it to be, and I'm like, no, it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just those things where I say it, meaning like, I'm really happy it was, but then again, I'm like, a good day or what, what was it? And so I think as being the parent, I'm more the one that probably does that. Because yeah, just those things that you say afterwards, you're like, that wasn't what I intended. And it probably wasn't the best thing to say.
I'm kind of drawing a blank in terms of people, situations where there's something that's been insensitive. I think like Heather, I think I've been, maybe try to be a little bit more aware, a little bit more cognizant of what we say or what we hear, just because we have gone through this and have a son and his wife that, still continue to grieve, but also celebrate, various different situations. Um, I, I really can't recall, and I'm grateful for that, but can't recall a comment that I would consider insensitive. Um, so I guess I've been fortunate in that regard.
Good.
Mhm.
I hope it stays that way. It's hard. Like people, like I said earlier, people have a tendency to want to fix it and help, right? And sometimes what they say is actually the opposite of helpful. Because like when someone uses an at least statement, at least you got to spend time with her, at least blah, 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 right? Like they're trying to make you feel better because you did get some time, right? But it kind of negates your actual feelings because, sure, I did get this time, but I'm also sad that I didn't get all of the rest of the time that I should have had.
Yeah.
So you're basically telling me I'm not allowed to be sad about not having all of that, and I should just be happy with what I did get, you
Mm,
know? Um, and so, yeah, people, I think they just, in their effort to try and make you feel better, because let's face it, when somebody is sad or upset, it's kind of off putting, like you feel like you have to do something to, to help, and so we as humans have a tendency to try and fix, and sometimes you just can't. All you can do is just sit with the person. Um,
And that's for sure how you feel with your children. You want them
yeah,
to be happy. And so like, yeah, and just realizing we just have to allow them the grief. I wish I could. I wish there's something I could do to help that heartbreak. I wish there's something I could do to take that away. And you're right. You just have to let it be, and yeah, sit with it.
so you said that you guys had a lot of support and people were really helpful. Tell me more about like specific what words or actions would you suggest to someone who is trying to support a grieving person? I think you guys are a perfect example of that because while you're grieving too, you're really also supporting your kids, right? And so, um, I guess just speak to us about what would you suggest to someone who's kind of in that position where they're supporting someone who's grieving? How can they show up for them in the best way? What does support look like?
Um, I think for someone like me, it's kind of interesting. I I mean, what I would say first of all is just don't overthink it. Don't overthink like, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should do that. Would that bother them? Would that, like, I'm someone who, I know that, again, like talking about that, this is in for my son and his wife. I think I held back often, being like, I don't want to get in their way. I don't want to get in a very intimate space of them, their grief. That might bother them. That might hurt them. That might, all these thoughts of, I don't know. And so my thought is just don't overthink it. Just, just just step up and step in. I think of wonderful, wonderful friends who literally just did that for us. Um, I have a friend who, when she heard about this and then immediately asked, well, how is her little sister? How's Esther's little sister doing? And I said, she was just about one at the time. And I said, she's just kind of so sad. She's crawling around and just kind of whine, like this little puppy almost, just so sad about it. And she just texted me the next day and said, send me some pictures of your family and Esther. And I said, okay. And she comes over a few days later and has made a board book of the Esther and her family and us, that this little, 1-year-old can hold and play with, and a little key ring with pictures on it. And just things that, she didn't ask, she didn't, do, just like, just do it. And, when people showed up, I had a really good friend who knew we were going to be traveling to go back to the funeral. And somehow, in conversation, I just said, I'm not going to go to the grocery store because we're leaving in just a couple, 2 days, and I'm not going to go to the grocery store and get anything. So we're just making do with what's here. And she showed up that night with dinner for the next few days while we were here at home. Didn't say, can I bring food? She just showed up. And so, yeah, I would just say, just do it. If you think of it and you just do it, and don't worry about, if you're someone like me, don't worry about getting in the way or doing something you shouldn't do. I think most of the time people feel loved and appreciate it.